Okay, let's try. Now streaming. Is it okay? Let me see. Yes, well, okay. I want to start with some words about the WebSocket. The WebSocket is a TCP-based network protocol. It defines how data is exchanged between networks. Because it's very reliable and efficient, it's used by almost all clients. TCP establishes communication between two endpoints, which are referred to as sockets. This allows data to be transferred in both directions. Oh, sorry. It's okay. Two-way connections like WebSocket, sometimes written as WebSocket, allow data to be exchanged in both directions simultaneously. The advantage of this is that data can be called up more quickly. WebSocket in particular enables direct communication between a web application and a WebSocket server. In concrete terms, this means you can call up a web page and have it displayed in real time. If we want to say it simpler, WebSocket is some kind of a cord that connects our web page or web application with WebSocket server, and we don't ruin the connection after every handle or after every request. I want to compare two uh, the most popular protocols, the HTTP and the WebSocket. Uh, I see the bad smile. Is it wrong something? Wait a minute, I'll check the translation. Yes, it's okay. I understand. The Firstly, let's look at how websites are called up without a WebSocket. On the internet, web pages are usually transferred via HTTP connection. Data is communicated via the protocol so that the website can be displayed in your browser. For this to happen, for every action you make, for example, a click, the client sends a request to the server. When a website is called up with the HTTP, the client first has to send a request to the server. The server then responds by sending the request content. In other words, HTTP works based on a simple request and response model, which generates a significant delay. How does WebSocket work? With the WebSocket protocol, things are different. Thanks to this technology, websites can be called up in real time using a dynamic call-up procedure. Here, all the client needs to do is open the connection to the server. It does this by sending the WebSocket protocol handshake. The handshake contains all of the identification information required for data exchange. After the handshake, the channel is kept open, allowing for almost continuous communication. The server can independently send data to the client without the client having to request it. Push notifications on websites use the principle. If the server has new information, it sends this to the client without any need for a specific request from the client side. How does WebSocket work from the browser and client side? To initiate communication, the client sends a request, just like with HTTP, but after this, an open connection is maintained via TCP. The content of the handshake between the client and the server is as follows. The client sends a request with specific headers. We set the upgrade WebSocket header, and the server answers that he can upgrade and can work with the WebSocket protocol. The new URL scheme for websites that use WebSocket is WebSocket instead of HTTP. There is also an equivalent for secure connection, WSS instead of HTTPS. When should you use WebSocket? WebSocket is useful when fast connections are important. Examples include live chats on support websites, news stickers, stock tickers, messaging apps, and real-time games. For most companies today, standard connection requests are no longer sufficient. Social media sites can benefit from WebSocket too, because it allows live interaction and instant messaging between users. WebSocket is a logical choice for any application that requires a high-speed, low-latency connection. What are the advantages of WebSocket? When conventional HTTP connections, problems may arise because the client always loads the entire HTML page. AJAX technology was developed to address this issue. However, this still wasn't a perfect solution because it only allows one-way communication, which leads to considerable delays that are no longer compatible with today's application, in particular live chats. By establishing a two-way data connection, WebSocket enables direct contact with the browser, which reduces loading times. In a live support chat, this means messages are displayed instantly. Good examples of WebSocket in practice. WebSocket is suitable whenever fast online connections are required. Nowadays, many sites rely on real-time connections to offer certain services. These include online games, sale platforms like eBay, support chats, live sport tickers, real-time upgrades, and social media. WebSocket is not a direct substitute for HTTP, but it allows efficient two-way communication and is therefore very useful when real-time display is required. Some words, some words about our task. In our task, we need to create a WebSocket server that will handle messages from the Battleship game. We need to install the WebSocket library and to create a WebSocket server. And after that, we need to create a handler for all messages from the client and create a sender to send answer and data for the game. We choose this library as the most popular library for WebSocket in Node.js stack. About our task. Now I'll show a description and show how the game works. The description. Uh, Firstly, we can read some information about communication protocols, WebSocket, and library. This is our theory. And about task assignment. We need to implement a Battleship game backend server, as I said before. We can use just JavaScript or TypeScript, use LTC version of Node.js, additional WS library, and libraries for uh, development, like Webpack, Pretty, Reslint, and others. We need to create npm scripts, and we need to make them so that your colleagues can check easily your work. If you make something complex, you need to write about it in your README file. We have I separate our game like three types of responses. It's user response, like player information, game information, and a response for all about rooms that are empty and can be used for the game, and winners table. About game. Firstly, we create user. After user can create a room for a game. Only two players can play in a room. After they connect to the room, they should set up the ship in the table and set information to the server. After server returns information that it knows about ships and that game has been started. Then server sends turn of the player and result of the shot of the player. After the game, we close the room and update our winners table. I will show you how it works. I have some realization of the server. Wait a second. I will start it all. Yes, we can start it here. It's our front-end realization. Our friends from other courses help us with it. Yep. After front-end starts, it's run WebSocket connection. We need to see answers from the server. First user, second user. We can also make a difficult type of the task with bot realization. Entity, and where is our WebSocket? Yes, yes, yes. It's okay. Here you can see request and response from the server. We create room and add other user, other player to the room. After this, we need to set up the ships. I will make it automatically here. You can see that we send ships to the server. I don't know, can I? Yes, I can make it bigger. After that, we set up ships in the second table. Yes, it sends them to the server, and server returns start game and turn the player. We can, yeah, it's this player's turn. We can make it randomly. You can see that it sent random attack, then it sent back the result and new turn. If we shoot at the ship, we will receive a result for every cell in our table and turn, as you can see. Let's win for one player. Oh, oh, not my turn. Yes. If you hit the ship, you can shoot again. Oh. That's it. The second player has win. Back to main, and we win. We can see the winner table. That's it. I think it's not very complex. You can write your questions. Who validates ship placing rules? mm, I think that server should validate, but we can check. Maybe we have validation in the front-end part too. Let's try. Yes, we have validation in front-end part too. In this case, I think that you can make validation because somebody can change with DevTools some wrong issues and send wrong positions. But I think that it's you can do without it. I don't. I think you don't need to make it with your server. I can make a short video with the game again and to make it bigger. Uh, for you can later check the order of the comments. Wait a second. Where is the game start? Add user to room, update room, create. Yes, yes. Wait a second. Let's play. Again, I will make it slowly. So you can then check order of messages. You can. Okay, wait a second. Reload. After reload, you will lose the connection, and who lose the connection lose the game. Let's try again. From the start. I will set them automatically. Oh, shoot it. Let's check it. No, I can't shoot for rect. Yes, you can. I will show you. Wait a second. I can't shoot here. Ah, yes, I sent information for the server, but server don't do anything with it. Yes, I understand. You're right. No. That's it. Shoot to the top left enemy field cell. I'm not sure I understand you well. Let's try. Create room, add room, automatically. Shoot to the top left enemy field cell. Yes. And as I understand, I shoot here again. Is it true? Wait a second. Maybe I made a mistake with the description. Let's check it again. Response for the game room. Create room, update room, it's okay. Add room. Create game. Yes, you should create game. Game ID and enemy ID. You know, create game. You receive game. Server should set up the count of the game, ID game. ID player is your opponent ID. Yes, result table is stored on the server. Create game sends only if you have two players in a room. About validation. It's always better to validate all in the server too, because someone can send you message from the Postman, for example, or from DevTools and send wrong values. Random attack, it's attack to any position. You should randomly attack position in the game table. For the response update room, I have a question. Why do we return just array of rooms, not an object with field, for example, rooms and the value of in front end it just send random attack. No, there is no button. Wait a second, I can't understand about update room response. Rooms, wait, I will open the description where I lost it. Assignment. Update room. Yes, it's here. We sent information about all rooms in a table without rooms ID and rooms user. I can't understand what the problem is. Yes, it's not relating to bot. When you receive a random attack, you should make attack in the server in a random point. Let's see. Yes, you just receive game ID and who make a shot. Wait. Where is your notation? Oh, I just set up it for you. You should easily understand why we Set this all as a nested object and convert it to the string. Yes, you can set it without this. It's just a description. It's not a DTO for you. More questions? You can easily write questions in channels for the fifth task, and I think that I will always answer you in hour or two, maybe more. Because it could be more than one room in a game. Ah, okay, I see. Rooms inside array. Yes, it's true. We could use it too, but we make description from the front-end realization. And front-end realization has such type of data, of message. That's why we use it. Think that you work with very strange front-end developer and you need to create server for him or for her. And I think I understand the difference between two messages. It's harder to serialize the second type of. We have something like a three nested objects inside. Uh, and four. One, two. No, I think that you have enough information for the realization of this task. I will wait for some minutes and we can end the stream. Or if you have some questions, write it please. Maybe I forget to answer for some one question. I haven't checked about your first version of data, but I think when we convert it to the string, we can send it all variants and first and second. We need to check it. How should we manage user not to enter in his own room? Could you clarify your question What do you mean not entering his own room? As I understand, we create room and enter it automatically. It could be a case when we update a page. In this case, we should remove the room. We can't create game with a single user. I said it before. We create game after both players are inside the room. We have two instances, uh, room and game. Player create room, enter it, and wait for other player. When other player enters the room, we start game. For create room, update room, response for create room, update room. We send that we have rooms with such players and send ID of players, index. Yes, but if you can see, okay, let's run again. As you can see, you you are in a room. Yes, you can press add to room, but you is already in the room. You shouldn't make anything for this player. Yes, you're right. The same with duplicate shooting for already shooted cells. I haven't tried to create more rooms. It's all can be managed from the server. It's your turn. Mm, yes, I think it'd be better to duplicate, create several rooms from one player. But I think that it should be your logic in your server. In that case, we will have different servers because if everyone will create like other, it will be not interesting. You have some freedom for realizations. Yes, yes. Usually frontend should do it. But we have some kind of prototype frontend. I see that Now we don't have more questions. Thank you very much. I'll wait your questions more in task channel. Goodbye and thank you. Oh, my mouse.